Holy crap, you're big, Ham.
Roar!
No, no being big. No.
Roar!
There.
Roar!
This video is going.
Oh gosh, it's Maxor. Our brains are gonna like explode.
Will you be sharing it in the Discord?
I will. I will. Ready? Ready? Ready?
Wait.
You might be ready.
Find it. I can't find it!
It's in our chat. In the room. You see it?
Hey.
You see it now?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Hey.
Ta!
Spoil the entire game. Baldur's Gate 3 is possibly the funniest game ever made, and I do not think it actually intends to be. Because it's actually trying to be really gay, taking place in a fantasy world where four adult friends are able to play on the same day. This game faithfully and hilariously recreates the D&D experience, all the way down to watching your friends paint the entire ground of their camp with your combustible blood, which turns out can act as the fuse for a bomb. And that is just the beginning of the
what the hell? I can do that?
That this game has to offer. Because in the world of Baldur's Gate, anything is possible, and everything is determined via dice roll. And yet,
Diced these nuts.
yes, that does determine whether or not you're going to be transformed into cats 4 turns before the building explodes. I think this is the best game ever made, and I'm not even exaggerating. But before we get into our amazing adventures, we have to choose our characters.
He likes exploding.
Can I explode?
No, he may not.
Very carefully. We've got Asterion, the Dark Urge, Squid Game Huggy Wuggy, all the customization you can think of for my human male fighter. But today, we're going to be playing as Ongyat Rizking, a they-them wild magic sorcerer with absolutely unnatural charisma. Charisma so powerful that I convinced the boss to kill his minions, to kill his dog, to kill himself, then convinced him to join me against the forces of Satan 30 hours after I sent him to hell. Coincidentally, Ongyat Rizking is not a smart man. My playthrough was classified as morally ambiguous because I usually did the right thing.
He keeps exploding everything.
I would.
Would.
Very badly. You're probably wondering right about now, Maxor, why are you speaking to a sentient rat in hell? That is a good question.
Yeah, right now. The rats.
Question with a very bad answer. I thought it would be really funny to sell my soul to Lucifer, and then
as you do, selling your soul to the devil.
And break into his house, kill his incubus that he uses to have sex with himself, steal.
Huh?
Hello?
I may have done that too.
I'm just disappointed.
My soul back along with everything worth money, which is the real reason that I'm here. Make a break for it just
He stole the man's gold! That's my goal.
Time and be forced to kill Satan, who, by the way, has 666 HP and sings about how he's going to kill you like a Disney villain. Was this the ethical course of action? Maybe,
but in
retrospect, I did not think I would get caught. So, on top of his immaculate riz and dubious ethical success, the most important detail—
Stop exploding people! What is wrong with you?
Of Ongyat Rizking is that he is a—
I'm never gonna get over the fact that he's named his character Ongyat Rizking.
Yacht.
Yacht. Are you going to yacht for the Rizzler, Ham?
Sticking out your gap for the Rizzler.
Wild magic sorcerer, which is definitely a class to choose.
You made someone a flaming sheep! You can do that.
Can I get it?
I want it.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question. Would it be warm? Or would it just be toasty?
Imagine for a moment that you and your 20 allies are trying to push past a narrow corridor when me and the fellas cast a swarm of bees, black tentacles, and a goopy fart cloud, which kills—
He did all of the AoEs that hurt your allies as well on top of all his allies. Huh?
your entire team
Man doesn't
before
play.
you were able to see anything. I call this strategy the fucked up hentai. Now, if that was to hypothetically happen, you would theoretically accuse me of a lot of bullshit, to which I would respond with, yes, officer, I did just disintegrate that child, and
He killed the child! You know what, Based?
what's more, I have committed crimes you can't even charge me for. Say hello to the spell Feign Death, which works by placing your allies into a coma. This, I would argue, is not a very useful spell, but if I were to say, give all my money away to a lucky merchant, then he would trust me enough to initiate nap time, and after carefully concealing my presence in a conspicuous dark blob, I will be able to steal my money back plus interest. And what's more, I get a fucking discount next time I show up. Is combat requiring just a little too much thought? Are you perhaps getting tired of taking
I did not know that that was a thing. Oh my god, I switched to the screens. I'm sorry.
any damage? Then, my friend, look no further than the Globe of Invulnerability, which does exactly what you think it does a little too well. The only caveat being that the invulnerability happens to work on enemies, and they tend to see invulnerability as an advantage, meaning literally every fight that I use it in devolves into the funny friendship circle. Say, for instance,
Friendship
that
circle. Wait, yeah, that happened in when we fought the demon guy. All of his guys kept trying to run into the circle. They're always like, "Let me give you a hug," and I was like, "No, I do not want to give you a hug."
May I have a hug?
you are an enemy whose entire purpose is to explode yourself. If you happen to
He's
wander into
exploding.
the Orb of Comedy, you would be forced to unsuccessfully activate your bomb vest
And did you explode that
20
much
times
when
in a
you played?
row, hoping and praying for a death that I cannot provide you. Honestly, if you're creative enough, you don't even have to play most combat encounters. I once fought a boss that began every fight
True.
by instantly killing me. Now, most normal people in this situation would reload the game, try some other quests, literally anything that uses your brain. But I am not normal people. I'm autistic. How else do you think this video gets made? The neurotypicals
He's
couldn't do
autistic.
this shit.
That's
So instead,
real.
we are going to
Amen.
cleverly sneak up on him with my entire party, then cast fear on him, forcing the men to flee while me and the fellas beat him to death with hammers. Another time, I was stuck in a difficult combat encounter with a invincible
with a
doom
hammer.
spider, at which point I transformed him into a more reasonable animal and forgot about him for the rest of the fight. Of course, magic doesn't always have to be used for combat
Forgot about
or
him.
stealing. Sometimes it can be used for productive things, like remote detonation. Imagine for a moment that you were tasked with solving a murder because the elephant police are being
He moved
racist.
the barrels
Not
on to that
against
room and blew 'em up.
non-elephants, mind you. Just
blowing
immigrants.
things
up. Never done
My guy is a reactionary ranch soda. You would be
feel
able
like
to
his entire
quickly
run could
resolve
be,
this situation by
labeled
performing
blow up.
necromancy and asking the murder victim who killed them. Alternatively, if I wanted to, say, kill everyone in the goblin camp without conventional methods, I could simply cast Speak with Animals and gently convince the local spiders to begin an arachnid race war.
Done it.
In fact, you can use this on any animal in the game, including threatening rats into revealing their cheese location, or the cat that narrates like a noir detective. Although I do think it is very
he
strange
narrates
that
like a
I don't
noir
have to cast it before speaking to gnomes.
Yeah.
But honestly, out of all the magical items you can obtain in this game, my favorite was definitely the Gamer Sups energy drinks, because it gives my character enough energy to leap 50 feet through the air and take extra actions per turn.
He did
It
not.
gets mailed to you as this cool alchemy powder so you can
Oh, he
save
did.
on gold and craft it into useful consumables. Gamer Sups has all kinds of
add
cool
Gamer
spells like
Supps to the game.
Grandpa's Ashes, Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000, and my personal favorite, Lean. These are actual flavor names. We're also
are
working on getting
actual
you guys an
flavor names.
official Maxor cup. This
Who's
is not the
eating the
official
fart
Maxor
one?
cup. I would put boobs on it. But
I
if
would.
you want other cups
You
with
would.
boobs
Of
on
course
them,
you would,
you
Ham.
can
Of
find
course
the
you
shop
would.
for them here in Description Alley, right next to the subscribe store.
Why are they
and
all
use code
T-posing?
Maxor for 10% off all spells. I am not responsible for what comes after.
I feel like you are. You exploded things.
Spread your ass
Again.
open, dude. You can do the rump shake.
Everyone.
Dude, this car kicks ass, and I can watch Madagascar while I'm driving. Ass.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You just
Just
killed
saw a
that
wizarding
squirrel.
duel outside Walgreens.
I
The
would've.
wizard cast a bullet
I've
at
done
him
it.
And stole his magical herbs. Turns out Gale wasn't actually a crip. Or maybe now he is. Wizarding life truly is amazing out here in Pennsylvania. Because when
I'm
you
not
join
mad,
the
I'm
Wild
just
Magic Gang, you aren't just making a character. You're making a mistake. Wild magic sorcerers have a random chance to select an effect from a list of 100. As long as you install the mod that adds 80. Every spell my character cast was a guarantee that something will happen, and whether or not I wanted that to happen is a different story entirely. Consider the scenario that you and your heroic party are desperately trying to escape an underwater prison. And no,
He did
this
the
time it
underwater.
wasn't for
How did
bestiality.
you do the underwater prison
It
when
was
you're
for hate
constantly
crimes.
exploiting people?
You have 5 turns to escape before your character reenacts the Titanic. This is when you make the critical mistake of casting a spell, which triggers the random effect of lock all doors, magically transforming this exploding prison into an exploding coffin. That is a reload. Or how about the time that I was tasked with holding onto a torch under penalty of death, whereupon the game decided that it would be really funny if I was banished to another dimension, because it would be even funnier if I happened to reload the game and immediately get petrified. Okay, look, I am exaggerating a little bit here. After all, the chances of you transforming into an ovine on your 3rd try would be pretty low. Of course, wild magic doesn't always have to ruin the game. Sometimes it can do really helpful things, like permanently inflict my character with the clown curse, which is, by every metric, an objective upgrade. I had an emotional cutscene after I got this, and I'm sure it made everyone feel better. Here we have the fight with the giant robot, where I transform myself into a cheese wheel. This gives us all kinds of new abilities, like cheesy smell, which would be really good if the robots could smell. Now, due to the obvious limitations
I like
of
how
my
when
class,
he got slashed by
Baldur's
it,
Gate 3
it
provides a
said
myriad
mince.
of options for customization, leveling, and companions, who, by the way, can be respec'd into any other class, making strategies like the 4-man gambling squad and Jurassic Park completely possible, but not exactly viable. Personally, I find it completely bullshit that I do not get an intimidation bonus for walking into the bank with 3 fucking velociraptors. Like, do you see this very often? So, to get at the true heart of the Baldur's Gate 3 experience, we have to make some friends, and eventually have sex with most of them. Honestly, it's pretty easy to forget.
Cam, you didn't have sex with most of them, did you? Your silence speaks volumes.
That this game has combat. Personally, though, I didn't get with any of them. Mostly because I can't show it, but also because I was interested in a more acquired taste.
Oh no.
You went for the tentacles.
That's right, baby. Gay sex with Squidward. I always dreamed of touching those Squidward tentacles as I played his clarinet. Also, if you don't have sex with anyone human, the camp skeleton just insults you for having no bitches.
And thus thou art
For real.
alone.
Thus thou art alone.
Shadowheart, more affectionately referred to as Shart, is a cleric of Shar that I spent the entire game gaslighting into a religious fundamentalist. Then, as soon as that became slightly inconvenient, beat her to death with my entire party so badly that I could not revive the body for round 2. Now, Shadowheart could have survived if I actually trusted her, but unfortunately, she is a white woman, and I don't trust those.
You know what? Valid, valid.
Gale is an aggressively bisexual wizard with a nuclear bomb inside of his chest, and it wants me to feed it boots. Now, Gale claims this is because of his relationship with an actual goddess, but I don't believe him. Not because that's completely insane, but because I've seen how Gale behaves around me. This motherfucker is gay, and since I've covered all this game's wacky and funny spells, I decided that I was going to respec Gale into a barbarian and give him a gun. This wizard may be out of spells, but
He installed the gun mod.
Not the gun mod.
The gun mod. Wait, why is he a barbarian then? Why wouldn't you make yourself a ranger or something?
Gun go bang. Big strong.
I mean, yeah, I suppose.
he is not out of shells. Will is a daring and noble warlock who is constantly told what to do and treated like a dog by a demon girl.
Is that the Big Bang Theory?
So I don't understand why he doesn't enjoy that. This game's writing is unrealistic. Lae'zel is a Githyanki fighter who, within 3 seconds of speaking to her, made me decide that yes, I am going to do a racist character today. And over the course of our adventure, Lae'zel surprised and shocked me by never failing to prove my racism correct. Asterion is a... Sorry, I forgot I installed that mod. Asterion is a devilishly handsome...
He installed the Chad Chin mod.
Ew.
Oh my god.
that specializes in giving enemies the devious backshots. This is mostly because Asterion happens to be a literal vampire, which becomes relevant when I sacrifice
Of course you would
7,000
jump at the
children to him,
backshots.
the ultimate life form.
I like the backshot.
I promise the scene isn't gay. Unfortunately, this did basically nothing as Asterion proceeded to walk down the hall and get his ass beat to death with hammers, because out of all the abilities our sacrifice could have given us, Asterion had graciously received the power to continue being useless. Though, to be fair to Asterion, no ultimate vampire twink is going to kill 5 full-blood Texans on their 5th Modelo. And Karlach is a very hot barbarian that I used throughout the game as a punching bag. One time, Karlach got so mad that she randomly destroyed every box in a 10-meter radius, repeatedly setting the entire party on fire until we fucking died. It was at this moment I decided that Karlach was going to be the one to disarm every trap in the game for me. Make sure to grab the treasures, Karlach. With our powers combined, we are the world.
He abused the fact that she's immune to fire.
See, he has the party mod on.
No. Oh,
We're
so he
having
can
so
take
much
the
fun
entire
without
party with him?
Shadowheart. So, as the world's shittiest polycule, it naturally falls to us to combat the forces of Big Straight and stop the Squidward ethno-state. Mostly by accident, because if there's one thing that motivates me more than protecting my potential investments, it is stealing from them. Yes, sir, it is certainly bad if the only bank in the city gets robbed. But don't worry, I've conducted a thorough investigation in my camp, and I have found no evidence of wrongdoing. Quests in Baldur's Gate 3 are, for lack of a better term,
Why are you
insane,
naked?
both in their scope and in content. Mostly the content, with
Him over here
multiple
like, why not?
contingencies for failure,
think
partial
it-
success, or the classic
The
unrestricted
rule is no
Japanese
pants,
war
Ham, not
Truly,
no
the
clothes
sky is the
ever.
limit in Baldur's Gate, and the only thing preventing you from achieving your dreams are the consequences of your actions. If, for instance, you were to ride the calamari carousel, a future character will roast you for your crimes against God in front of your friends. Your choices matter in Baldur's Gate 3. One time, I decided to visit the circus so I could piss off the local genie so badly that he sends me to Jurassic Park. But
I
that's not
remember
important
that.
right now. Exploring the
That's
non-insane
never
part of
happened
the
to me.
circus,
I got
we
turned
find
into
ourselves
Steve.
enraptured by the performance
Yeah,
of
if you make it
Dribbles
where
the
you'll
Clown.
win,
The
'cause
only
he'll
problem
never
being
let you
that
win
while
otherwise.
investigating a series of murders by shapeshifters, I had
Like if you
already
take
met
his
Dribbles the Clown,
ring or anything?
and I was carrying his severed torso in my inventory. Safekeeping. So, despite knowing the identity of my gang stalkers, I decided to send Asterion to the stage anyways. Mainly because I thought it would be funny. And I was not disappointed. This guy should open a YouTube channel where he promotes an energy drink he intentionally poisons. Now, you're gonna want to be careful after doing this quest, because unbeknownst to you, one of your crewmates has been replaced by an imposter. And worst of all, I am kind of into this. Can you shapeshift yourself pregnant? So, whether you know it or not,
Ayo.
you are going to be
Hey,
playing Among Us
yo!
for the next 10 hours. And honestly, playing as the imposter is so much more fun. Which is why, instead of stopping the killings, I decided that I was going to do them myself, and eventually join the blood cult by bathing in the blood of the racist elephant to bring about a new future of crimson despair. Shapeshifters are
Done it.
usually multiracial, by definition. What I'm trying to say with these long anecdotes is that you never just go to the circus in this game, or God forbid, speak to a clown. Though you are watching this YouTube video, which is close.
Repost if you
Yes, he's a clown.
want to name
I
a
agree.
porcupine to your neighbor's balls.
Give me the thumb shake.
Act 1.
Yeah, you can do a lot of that going.
Shake that shit.
Animals are so fucking funny!
Act 1. We're going
Welcome to
back.
the first major dungeon of the game.
Oh, he went back to the
appropriately
dungeon.
named
Okay.
Central London. And like the actual London,
Right.
it is unfortunatately filled with the
He's
English.
shaking his-
You
yeah.
cannot really tell
He has to
because
find
you
the
can't
business.
understand anyone and the food is inedible. It is here that Baldur's Gate really shines as a game where you can do almost anything, and an unlucky developer will be forced to code it. There are 3 targets for you to kill in the Goblin Camp, or if you're bad enough, several dozen, each with their own personalities, weaknesses, and premium cheese
Poison the
strategies.
cat.
Needless to say,
Attack the goblin.
this channel is not going to offer you any good advice. After all, there's
I
a lot of
committed,
guide videos for this game alongside race tier
what's it
lists.
called?
So while I'm not going to be sorting you by phenotype, what I can
What's the
give
word
you
where you kill everything
is a
and
taste of the
everything?
premium cheddar. Okay, so
Everyone
you're
and
gonna
everything.
want to start out by going invisible
Genocide.
and placing a
Genocide. I
wyvern
committed
toxin into the
genocide.
Kool-Aid. Then lead a toast by declaring that we are going to drink until we die. Make sure that Asterion is the one to do it, by the way. We don't need him anymore. Heading inside,
We don't need him anymore.
we take care of our
He's
first
immune
target
to it.
by following her to a secluded location, summoning a cloud of daggers, and then initiating verbal exchange, locking her into our conversation while she is slowly stabbed to death. This isn't considered a crime, by the way, because, well, they can just walk out. Just don't hit a piece of wood while you're doing that, because then you're not going to be killed for assault. You're going to be killed for destruction of property. The next trick we're going to do is called
Destruction of
Minthara's
property.
Skip, because we are
How
going to be
dare
summoning
you
a
destroy that
random
property with
spectator
her dead
to
friend
skip
on
to
the
the end
side.
of Minthara's life. Just pray to God that she doesn't go down easily, because the spectator certainly won't. Finally, we have our
These are
third
annoying.
target, Dror Razglin, who is
He's annoying
certainly
too.
not
Wasted
to
it
kill the
there.
conventional way. So instead of that, we're going to do something significantly harder. I know, really original strategy, Max.
Animals are so fucking
Throw it again at the guy.
Welcome to the Underdark, home of the spectator boss fight. Because yes, in addition to having a giant underground area filled with
That's where
interesting
that's where
flora
we
and
used it. We
fauna,
put
Baldur's
the
Gate 3
spectator at the
dares to
spectator.
ask the question of what if people in the Underdark had a different skin color to me? And completely unrelated to that, what if there was a lot of slavery? Because it is this very slavery that we are going to take advantage of. Immediately upon entering the world's basement, you're gonna want to head over to the Mushroom Kingdom, and you're gonna get a letter telling you that the princess is now a permanent guest at one of Bowser's 7 Koopa hotels. Talking to the giant mushroom, you're gonna have to explain to him how reanimating the bodies of dead velociraptors is technically not a war crime, but what I'm going to use them for is definitely a war crime. And after playing a game of Pokemon,
Wait, there's dead
the corpses that were
velociraptors down
enemies
there?
reanimated, we steal their
I've
boats
never
and
even
progress
seen
down the
one.
river
I
to
must
haven't
the
either.
Iron
What
Fortress
the
of
hell?
Grimeforge. This place fucking sucks dick. I'm gonna
Good
kill
flavor.
myself.
Chat, we're not clowns.
Welcome
Shut
to
up.
Grimeforge, home to many
Clowns?
kinds of people, whether they're
Him is
enslaved
clearly a kitty.
or enslaving.
I'm a dragon.
You really only have 2 options here in the Grimeforge. Eavesdropping in on the local Minecraft Let's Play. We overhear rumors of an ancient and powerful explosive, which will purchase my child labor at least 30 minutes of Roblox time. And after gently ascertaining the location from their bodies, we carefully confiscate the nuclear weapon using a refined negotiation tactic where I lie to them. Now equipped with the most powerful bomb in the game, we are presented with a choice. We can either use this bomb to help the gnome
Why
slaves
did he put
finally
the-
achieve their
that-
freedom,
those
or
pictures
we
there?
can use it to kill Dror Razglin.
and I can watch Madagascar.
So,
He's-
going
he's-
back to the
he's watching
Goblin
that
Camp,
Jasper.
we discover through some experimentation that Dror Razglin doesn't actually die to the bomb that I just placed. So, into the hole you go, I guess. And that is how you
That's what I
quickly
do.
and efficiently speedrun the Goblin Camp. Make sure to subscribe for more convenient time saves.
Why are you doing everything?
What the fuck?
Okay, so the point I'm trying to get across, really
So
badly,
people.
is that this game is utterly massive, and it
It's
absolutely
huge.
does not stop you from destroying it. Because in Baldur's Gate 3, every single mistake you can possibly make is going to come up again. And most of the time, it is in the form of racial conflict. For instance, do you want to be a good Samaritan and free the Deep Gnomes from their unjust imprisonment? Well, congratulations. You just happened to free the Deep Gnome clan's Grand Wizard. Hope you're ready for a race war in 20 hours. Because if you happen to misplace a certain bomb, then he's going to happen to make Hiroshima look like a fucking joke. Personally, this kind of stuff is the funniest shit I've ever seen. Not the racism part, although that is still funny, but rather the simple
The
joy
racism
of knowing
part.
that your save file has probably already been destroyed without you even knowing it. Since beginning the long process of making this video, I have made a multiplayer warlock named Risley Bear, alongside my friends Reese and Nomer Simpson. And after playing for approximately 10 minutes, I can confirm that my first character inadvertently killed almost everyone he spoke to, and about half the time, the reverse was true. A good example of this is the time that I just so happened to wander my character into a
Oh man, I hit my
god,
face.
who then offered me a pivotal and important quest, prompting me to raise the reasonable inquiry that if she was a god, surely she would be able to kill anyone she wanted. She responded by fucking vaporizing me. Overall, this is in every sense of the word
you can't
a
go
role-playing
back if
game,
you do that.
provided of course you want to roleplay as a dumbass
It
murder
says you
goblin.
can't reload it.
Otherwise, Why do you even play video games? We blow shit up in this motherfucker.
you have to
Better
go back
take your sensitive
significant
ass back to
amount.
LinkedIn. With scores of amazing and deep content that I unintentionally locked myself out of because we accidentally killed a man named Bingus Bongus. Ripped to a fucking real one. Strategic and
You killed
complicated
Bingo!
combat. And an entire
did.
world of
You killed Bingo,
possibilities
he's
and
terrible.
solutions, which will leave you wondering,
We kicked
How
him
the
in the
fuck
yacht, right, Ham?
am I allowed to do this? Is this a
Yeah.
glitch or intended behavior?
Did you talk to the
Yes.
cow?
So, while
don't
I
think he
didn't get to
did,
cover
'cause he's not
everything since
mentioning it. He's not mentioning
I'm
the
only
Satan
human,
cow.
you can trust me when I say that there is something in this game for everybody. 10 out of 10 would unleash No Hitler again. For me though, I would like to thank
Hitler.
all of my amazing patrons, using
should
and
get Shuffle in
sacrificing
our
their
run.
funding for only the finest of video game content. As always, more
run is
deranged
next
gotcha game
Wednesday.
videos to come. I will be sure to spend all
What
of your money
is that?
very responsibly. Oh yeah, this video is about Baldur's Gate 3.
He's like, oh yeah, this video is about Baldur's Gate. No kidding!
A very good video.
It's a very good video, yeah. Funny hee hee.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Wednesday.
Apparently it's about shaking your yacht.
For the resort.
For the resort? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm staring at you.
Turn to you.
That's what I think. Throw
Okay.
everybody off of a cliff.
Of course! If they can't fly, they were not meant to live.
Unless you have feather falling.
No. I don't think you can cast that in the air, can you?
Yeah.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
I
can't wait to play that.
I guess.
Must play.
Must play. Must play.